Another thing that you'll want to pay attention to, just so that you're aware of it and you can help your students with it, is that every page, whether it's an assignment, a discussion, a quiz, or even just a blank page with a video on it that they have to watch or an article they have to read, there should be directions on that page to tell the students explicitly what they have to do. An online course means you're taking the course online. So hypothetically, depending on the situation, students could be working on this at home, outside of a classroom, not in front of a teacher. So they need to be made for a student to be clear as to what to do. So you'll notice that on each of these pages, for example, this one right here, if I get rid of this show Dropbox, there are directions for how to submit this assignment. It tells me specifically, hit show Dropbox and where to go from there. For here, how to participate in a discussion, click on new thread. It tells you how to navigate the page from strictly not even doing the assignment, but also how to complete it in e-learning. With this particular assessment, you'll notice in general, they have to hit start. In this case, it's telling them you already, they don't have a retry, so they can't do it. But it tells you a little bit about these types of questions. When you start this particular assessment, there are some passage questions. So there's always going to be directions on here that they need to make sure they're reading so that they know how to complete those. When they're first starting out, that's going to be crucial for them. Once they've started and worked their way through a course, they're going to kind of get the flow of it down. But this is something that you'll want to know so that you can help them. So when I got here, the way I got here was from my home. I'm going to go back home for a second. From my home, I hit the play button, the activities button, that meant I wanted to work in my course. The other option was my grades. So if I go to the grades of this course, this is something else I'd like to show you from a student view. So same thing, I see my grades here. I can see that welcome folder was done, and there was one item in there that was graded. I got 100. This is when I submitted it and whatnot. This also is, again, here, this feedback. So again, I could look at it from here. I could click on it and read that feedback that my teacher gave me again. So I'm going to close out of there. So this is everything in the course that I have to do, and it could, depending on how much is in there, you'll likely have to scroll up and down to see everything. Right now, this is showing my overall score is 100. I've completed 1 out of the 4 gradable activities, and I've completed 11 out of the 31 non-gradable. So there's always resources and whatnot in the course, study guides, things like that that a teacher might put in. The other things you'll want to help your students with as they're going through their grades is that there's these other tabs up here. One of the most important ones to show them is this what if. So if for some reason their grade is a failing grade and maybe it's a 64 or a 62 and they think that they're done, you can work with them to say, okay, what would happen to your score if you were to get a better grade on this? So let's say you turned this 50 into a 70, what would it do to your score? And then you can recalculate and do that. So you always want to show your students the what if so you can help them work through where to concentrate their efforts to get some more work done. Another thing that you can see from the teacher side, but it's nice to know that the students can see it as well, is they can see the entire time they've been working on a course and then broken down by every day they're in there and what they've done on those days. So sometimes the students don't know that this is something you can see as well as that they can see. So just make sure that these other tabs are here for them as they're working through a course. From a student view, you can make sure you show that to them. So now I'm back home. Again, I always am constantly using this menu for communicate. I probably should show them the communicate, even though it's not working right now. So back on their homepage, whether they're in a course or not, another thing that you'll want to know for students is communicate. When you're when you've chosen communicate, it's going to default to all, and you'll need to pick a course because a student wouldn't send an email, to every course. But all they'll have to do is pick a course. So let's say, I have a question for my ASL 1 teacher, and then I'm going to send them an email from there. So again, so that is what it looks like when you log in for a student. You've got your courses, you can start them and work on. So that is what it looks like for a student. Their homepage gives them their courses. Remember the activity stream, that's important to show them. The communicate feature, that stuff over here. Basically their navigation is going to be over here on this left-hand menu. Over here, they can do some of their, settings and personalized stuff. But that is what you need to make sure you're aware of so you can help your students navigate that. Starting the course and the grades of the course and how to redo things, how to submit things.